So, we finally got a call. Now it's like 59-1.
It's kind of like say, Oklahoma got beat by 2 points on a missed. No, they did not.
No.
They were down 4.
Yeah.
Okay, they got the 2. Well, they were tied the game. They got the 2, and so the people who are anti-Clemson are saying, well, North Carolina had a chance. Well, they had to go down 49 yards or so, and they had to score 8 points in under 2 minutes to tie.
I know.
To tie. And
But to hear North Carolina's people talk, that call or lack of a call cost them the game. They're not going to mention the targeting call that
blatant call
wasn't called either.
Zach Brooks.
And what it boils down to is ACC officiating is the worst of the Power 5 conferences. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I told some other friends of mine I finally got to boo John Swofford in person Saturday night. It felt really good.
You're one of those, aren't you?
I will never
you
forget.
always have been.
Yeah, never forget. Keep the flame burning, baby.
Yeah, I know.
They go in front of the infractions committee next spring, and the talk is they're going to try and pin it all on their women's basketball program. So the women's basketball program will take the major hit. But
they're in big trouble.
But I'm telling you, if they get hammered by the NCAA, I would lead the charge to get them another year or two
Extra
from the
year.
ACC.
Poor, yes, yes.
Oh, well, we don't do that anymore. Well, yeah, you do need to do that because you said back in '82 that Clemson embarrassed the league. Well, giving away degrees and not going to class, I think that's a pretty good embarrassment.
To me, it's more of an embarrassment than giving a guy a T-shirt. I mean, seriously.
Well, sure.
Or
an extra dessert.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's much worse.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of experts will agree with you there that it's just slimier, to have an academic fraud than it is a $10 handshake or a $100 handshake, whatever.
Yeah, right. I'm going to move on to this right quick that I'm stealing from the Orange and White. Brandon Rink wrote this. Football study hall's probabilities experts say that the ACC is maybe they're going to get a winning record. 54% for Clemson, 39% for UNC, 46% for State, 80% for Florida State, 59% for Miami, 75% for Virginia Tech, 42% for Duke, 35% for Pitt, and 57% for Louisville to win their bowl game. But now you're going down to ESPN. gosh. You know, I watch ESPN because there's not much of anything else, but man. All right, they say Clemson's got a 37% chance. North Carolina 41, Florida State 72, the Hokies 81, NC State 39, Pitt 51, Lou has got 40, Miami 51, and Duke 59%. That's a whole lot of change, but two different groups. But even though ESPN has a contract and pays some money to the ACC, it is like they think that the ACC does not even play football. It's pretty bad. So, anyway, that's what I want to steal from that.
I think with three schools in the top 10 going into last weekend, I don't think you have to apologize for anything.
Absolutely. Right. Okay, now we're probably going to, we've done a lot this show. I'd like to do another show next week on Tuesday or Wednesday and talk about more about maybe the other game, Alabama and Michigan State, and quickly run down some of the, you already made your picks for the bowls.
I have.
And,
I mean, we're done? Or
no, not really. I just didn't know if you...
I'm fine.
Ready to move on. You want to do your bowl picks?
Well, we want to bore them with everything.
No, not everything, no.
But
I haven't done mine.
how about we go to I don't even know where to start. Let's go to.
BYU without a coach. No,
Let's go directly to the back page.
Okay.
Let's just do.
All right.
Let's do.
Orange Bowl.
Let's do. Let's start with December 30th.
Okay. December
Let's
30th.
do that. I guess that.
You got your Birmingham Bowl with Audubon. They're 6-6 against Memphis 9-3. You know.
Yeah. Well, Memphis has lost their coach, but I went with Memphis there.
Well, Auburn has lost their almighty defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's true.
And their defensive backfield coach.
Well, that's true.
Okay.
Auburn will have a home field advantage, though. I probably would reconsider that pick.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll pick Memphis. Belk Bowl, NC State will have, I think, a significant home field advantage. Mississippi State, I don't know if they really want to be there.
That may be one of those.
That may be one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I did pick Mississippi State.
And
Music City Bowl in Nashville, which I think is a great trip. Love that trip.
well, Nashville's just great to be
Yeah,
there.
it is. It is. And Louisville against A&M, and A&M is one of those that may not want to be there.
Yeah.
So I went with Louisville. I think Louisville will have it'll be a Louisville crowd. Holiday Bowl in San Diego.
And their coach now is the coach and not the interim coach of Southern Cal.
Yeah, Southern
So
Cal.
they'll probably want to do something.
I haven't even seen Wisconsin. I don't know what Wisconsin's been doing, but here they are. They ended up season 9-3.
They opened the season with a loss to Alabama.
Southern Cal got smoked by Stanford in the
Yeah, they did.
Pac-12 championship game. So I went with Wisconsin. Houston and Florida State in the Peach Bowl. This could be very entertaining. This could be wide open. This could be who has the ball last. But I'm going with a somewhat of an intimidation factor here and picking Florida State. I don't know if Houston can handle the moment of
yeah, because Florida State's been to big bowls, and little bowls.
facing the guys with the spears on their helmet.
Yeah.
But that 12-1 record will get Florida State's attention, and but that could be a very entertaining game. December 31st, the first semifinal at 4 o'clock, Clemson, Oklahoma.
No doubt, in your mind.
I picked Clemson.
Sure.
I have no idea, but I picked Clemson.
Yeah, me too.
31st, the Cotton Bowl will be 8 o'clock. That's in Jerry World, Arlington, Texas. Alabama, Michigan State. Again, this is a fist fight. This is a street fight. This is a road grader versus road grader. This is not for women and children to watch.
That's right.
I mean, it's going to be violent.
There may be some blood out there.
It's going to be ugly. It's going to be old school. Might as well throw in some leather helmets and some big puffy pants. This is going to be for men only. So they like to think they're it. They like to think they're everything in a bag of chips. So I'm picking Alabama. But my heart says I would love to see Michigan State win that game. But the Outback Bowl. Now we're going to New Year's Day.
Let me toss this in before we leave the Michigan State.
Right, go ahead.
There was some tie-in around here. You know, their coach was an assistant coach at West High School. And let me tell you this. He called Jim Frazier one day and said, Coach, they don't give me anything much to do here. Can you help me find a job that I can coach? It's a true story. Frazier says it all the time. And then his brother coached on the Hatter side. The guy's in the business now. The guy made all that ton of money.
Yeah. All right, you want to go to January 1, New Year's Day, which used to be the traditional day for bowls. The Outback, Northwestern, and Tennessee. Tennessee made a step forward this year, but they blew 2 or 3 games late, so 8-4 could have been a whole lot better.
They're calling that win, Oklahoma over Tennessee, is one of their signature wins, by the way.
Well, it was in Knoxville, and it was early in the season, so yeah, I would have to agree with that. I'm going with Northwestern. They have beaten Stanford, which obviously proved to be a very big win. The Citrus Bowl in Orlando, this is a layup here. Florida's the worst 10-3 team maybe in the history of college football.
Maybe. They do not know what the goal line looks like.
They cannot score, and so Michigan wins that game pretty easily. This, to me, the next one, I think, is the premier game outside of the two semifinals, and that's Notre Dame and Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl. And I think Notre Dame will be juiced for this one, and they will be obviously as healthy as they've been all season with some time off. And but having said all that, I picked Ohio State. Maybe they won't be motivated to be there because they won it last year and not playing for it this year. But Notre Dame is Notre Dame, and Notre Dame gets your attention.
Yeah.
So I think Ohio State would love nothing more than to beat Notre Dame. The Rose Bowl.
Is this third year in a row Stanford at the Rose Bowl? I think so.
I think so. I've always wanted to go to the Rose Bowl, but of course, not being anywhere near the Pac-12, I haven't had that opportunity. But Stanford and Iowa, I can't see Iowa staying in this game.
No.
I think Stanford's got way too much. The Sugar Bowl, which I will witness in person, yes, I'll be there. And I will have been on Bourbon Street on New Year's Eve, but that's another story.
That's a good story.
Oklahoma State versus Ole Miss. This one, the over might be a good choice here. If Oklahoma State gets, I don't know what Mason Rudolph, their starting quarterback, who's from Rock Hill, and what his status is for this game. He had some surgery on a foot.
Yeah, he didn't play a whole lot in the last two games.
He was 0 for 3 with an intercept against Oklahoma, so he was terrible. And he was in obvious pain and wasn't right. Oklahoma State against Ole Miss. Chad Kelly, of course, with Ole Miss. They've scored a bunch of points this year. Had a nice season. Beat Alabama, but got beat in Memphis. And they did hammer Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, so that got them the Sugar Bowl. So I'm riding the Cowboys here.
But you kind of have to.
I have to, but yeah, Ole Miss. It'll definitely be an Ole Miss crowd. I mean,
heard an interesting question.
Right there in New Orleans. If
Yeah,
they can't get in the car and drive the Sugar Bowl, they don't deserve to go. But
Interesting question I heard today. Will Kelly come out?
Come out what? No.
To the NFL?
No.
Okay.
No.
If
he does, it's a dumb move, I think.
He needs one more.
I don't think he's ready. I mean, not that I've analyzed every absolute piece of film, but I think to come out, and he's eligible, I'm sure, but to come out after one season at Ole Miss, I don't think so.
Okay.
Although Shaq Lawson's coming out at Clemson, but I don't think that was any big secret. I think we all knew that was going to happen.
He and Alexander will be next
after this season. Mm-hmm. But Lawson has played a whole lot better than Alexander, in my opinion.
Sure has.
I think Alexander's been kind of dogging it here the last.
Has he been trying not to get hurt or something?
I don't know.
You're right. He
had a very.
He had his curse, but he's been pretty bad.
Yeah, he's had a very.
Curse looked like he was trying to tackle.
Well, Curse's both of them have not played up to their early season standards, and they really need to pick it up if Clemson's going to have a chance to go to Phoenix. January 2nd, Tax Layer Bowl. God almighty. I can't believe they even put this game together.
That'd be horrible.
Who would? You think, Georgia getting a second trip to Jacksonville, how exciting is that? This is and
they have the interim coach deal.
Yeah, who knows who's coaching Georgia? This is nasty. I will be surprised if it's half full. Because it's the day after New Year's, and there won't be enough emotion in the stadium to blow up a balloon. But just because Georgia's offense is putrid, I went with Penn State. I think Penn State will probably be excited to be there. I know Georgia's not, because lately when they've gone to Jacksonville, they've gotten their butts kicked. So